Hello, everybody. What's your name?
We're Small Steps Finance.
What do you do?
We're a financial coaching company. Welcome to Financial Fridays. Today we are going to try to do a TikTok live.
Financial Fridays.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Oh.
Okay, so we're going to try to do record for our YouTube Financial Friday and then also do it on TikTok Live. So we'll see how that goes with juggling everything. Our past Financial Fridays were about our college experience and finances that way. So this week we thought we would talk about FirstJobs, and I wrote all of mine down on this piece of paper, and Nikki,
I wrote mine down too.
does not need a piece of paper because of how few jobs she has had. So
No, because I'm really smart and I can keep it all up there.
And these are just the jobs I remember. So we thought we would kind of talk about what we did with our money when we first got our jobs and what that kind of looked like. So we can kind of bounce back and forth. But my very first job,
I would like to say that I am really excited about this because I don't even know if I know all of the jobs that she has worked. Like, this should have been a game where you asked me, name all of the jobs that I know of. Now that I see the list, I'm like, I didn't even know that you did that. So I'm really excited
I
for
just
you.
remember. Oh, no, that's it right there. I got it. Okay.
First of all, why are you the way you are? Why do you have so many jobs?
Listen, today was therapy day, so you'd have to ask Pauline. Okay.
I will. Okay. Let's go. Number one.
Okay, so my mom actually was like, does that count? Does that not count? And I decided. So my first job was as a babysitter. I went through the babysitter safety program at 13. So those were my first couple of jobs, but they were mostly family friends. And I don't think I made a lot of money because I was like, I'm just here to help and play with little kids. So I did start babysitting at 13 and then got my first real job at 15, where I worked at a daycare for $6.25 part-time after school.
If anybody needs a babysitter, professional right there.
It's true. I don't have my certification in babysitting anymore, though.
You do because you're a mom.
I mean, people probably should get a certification in babies before they become parents. So my first real job was at a daycare, and then after that I got a job in a dress shop, which probably was the most uncomfortable job for me to ever have because
Why?
I love dresses to dress up.
But like, what kind of dress shop? Like wedding gowns?
Yeah,
and stuff?
it was wedding gowns. So there was a lot of brides that came in and they would ask me for their opinion or my opinion, and they would ask, like what the prices were. So I'd had to go re-tag everything, which I always thought using the tag gun was cool because I didn't know how they got it through the clothing to have the little money tag on there. So
That's probably really dangerous to have people come in and ask for your opinion. You're probably like, that's too much money. Don't spend that much on that dress. You're going to wear it one time.
Yeah, well, my wedding dress didn't cost that much money, and I loved it. It was a good small purchase.
It was pretty.
So after I do that, so both of those were $6.25. When I graduated high school, I actually went and lived at the beach with my friends. I made $8 an hour there. I only did it for like 6 weeks though, and then I left.
But what did you do?
To go home? I was a lifeguard at a water park.
Oh.
Like I had to go retrieve the tubes and run in there, and
Aren't you afraid of water?
no,
Oh.
I'm afraid of bridges and stuff. Oh, here comes one of the kids.
Oh.
Hang on, buddy.
I want to ask you something.
Okay, but we're on. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Here, come here.
Hi.
Okay, go. So after I do that, I go through, I do that for about 6 weeks, and then I moved back home because I don't actually like the beach, even to this day. Living near the coast really was lost on me. So I did that and went to college and then had jobs throughout college as well. But I also was an athlete, so there were a lot of demands for that. And the only jobs I could really get while I was playing soccer were jobs with the school because they were pretty lenient with what I was doing. So hello to everybody who has recently joined. My wife is coming back. She's taking care of our son who didn't need literally anything from us until right now. So we're moving into college. Thanks, Lisa. So we're moving into college and what we're going to do, like how we're spending the money. And up until this point, I do remember what I did with my very first paycheck. Do you know what you did with your first paycheck?
What did I do? My first paycheck was $90 from McDonald's, and I felt like I was a millionaire.
And what did you spend it on?
I probably went to the mall and bought myself some t-shirts from Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Throwback.
I
I
was
can't
probably
believe
like,
that store is
"Woo,
still
Slipknot."
open. I literally cannot believe that is still a store. Yeah, my first paycheck was like $147 because I think I got paid 2 weeks. And I also went to the mall, bought myself clothes that I got to pick out and was like, this is my first real money. So I spent like $100, then went to the movies and then left the bag of clothes in the movie theater and called and that didn't work out. So I never got my clothes back. So my very first paycheck.
Are you okay?
No, I'm still upset about it because I called literally like 5 minutes after I left the movies and they were like, no, sorry, somebody must have thrown it away. And I was like, you don't throw away a ginormous bag of clothes. Also, the clothes were from Aeropostale. So it was like the in thing, which I was always like I was like at least a year or two behind because I couldn't actually afford the clothes at the time. So could only afford them after they were things. So this was like right as American Eagle started taking over. And I was like, I'm going to go buy some polo shirts. And then I left them, which honestly is just my personality because that's why I don't carry a purse.
I didn't even know people shopped there.
Well, you were too busy at Hot Topic.
And Spencer's.
With all of your fishnet stockings or whatever you're wearing.
All right. They were just black band tees.
Uh-huh.
And bondage pants.
And your really dark eyeliner.
It's fine.
And your orange hair that you dyed on accident.
I bleached it.
How'd that go?
Orange. It went orange.
So, drop in the comments, what did you do with your first paycheck? If you remember, how much did you make? And what did you do with it? So I'm curious what other people were also making. My first job, not the babysitting thing, was 2005, so $6.25, I think, was right around minimum wage at that time. Do you know what you made?
$7.05.
$7.05. What did you end up when you left McDonald's a trillion years later? What were you making?
$8.45.
That's wild to me. $1.40 after how many years?
7.
Yikes.
But also you would usually, we would have a lot of reviews, but you would be able to get like a 5-cent or a 10-cent raise quarterly-ish.
Mm-hmm. Did you also leave your mall purchases in the movie theater?
No, I did not.
I was talking to Lisa.
Oh.
Yeah, so Nikki kind of went through our last Financial Friday. She actually talked about 2 of the jobs that she has. And do you want to tell them how many jobs you've had total?
Yep. So I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Foodland. I worked at a vet clinic. And I worked at another vet hospital. That was 4.
And that's how many jobs I have at one time.
Did you finish talking about your jobs?
No, I just was trying to go by year, so that would have been roughly the same time. Hello, everybody joining. So, all right, so then we get into a really long list. Hi, Twiggy. Thanks for joining. We get into a really long list because I am terrible at... Oh, thank you. I'm not terrible at jobs. I just have a really hard time when I feel like I've been disrespected or when people don't follow through, and it's really one of those know your worth types of things. And so it wasn't like I was a great employee when I was working and when I felt like I was...
When you felt appreciated and respected.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, yeah.
So you had so many jobs, but how many of these jobs did you quit?
Like give 2 weeks notice?
Or did you just stop?
Okay, well, when I was a TSS, I gave them 2 weeks notice.
Well, you loved that job.
I did love that job. Yeah, probably not very many of them. I would not recommend that. I think that it burns bridges, although Pilot can keep their recommendation of my performance as a coffee hostess. So some of the things that I did, was I was a dorm attendant in college. All over the place. There are 2 things I have not done. I've not worked in a grocery store. I have not been a bartender, but I worked in the dorms. I worked construction with my uncle, Subway. I worked for Valspar, the paint company. I had internships where basically I worked with Child Protective Services, but on a more day-to-day basis, like an hour here and a half hour here and stuff. And I realized then that I could not do like social work or anything like that I was far too close to those cases, and as much as I wanted to be helpful, I realized that was not a job for me. So I always highly recommend internships to my students, because just as much as you might find out that you love something, you also might find out that you hate it, and that's equally as important. I was a coffee hostess, so I just filled up coffee a lot at a gas station. I've been a cashier a couple times. I did work for a credit reporting agency in Pittsburgh, so that has helped from the personal finance kind of side, from from the credit reporting agency, and also when we bought a house. I worked with kids with disabilities, which was one of my favorite jobs. Nikki got me a job at McDonald's. So I was a TSS, I worked at McDonald's, and I was a grad assistant all at the same time when I was getting my master's degree. And then since then, everything's pretty much been inside of academia, outside of this personal finance. So an adjunct professor, assistant professor. I was just promoted and tenured, so that's exciting. So I guess that's technically a new job, but it's not really a new job because it's all through the same university. So I have had, not including the different places, like the 4 subways, not including those, I had like 17 jobs, and Nikki has had 4. So how does that list feel to you?
To me?
Yeah.
It feels like a lot. Yeah, but also, was there any job that you wish at some point that you had done?
I feel like back in my day I would have made a good bartender.
I agree. But if you did it now, you'd be like, why is the music so loud?
I would absolutely.
You'd be like, you said you need what?
Oh, yeah. Like, I would.
I honestly, to any bartenders out there, I don't know how you do it.
Same.
Because I can't even hear myself think when I walk into a bar. I don't like loud music. I don't just like turn it down. We went to a restaurant last week.
I was going to say that.
We didn't have the kids, so we were like, you know what? Let's go treat ourselves. We're going to go to this place we haven't been. And it was a place called 30s where they had craft beer and pizza, and I love pizza. So we went in there, didn't buy pizza, but we bought a family salad, and it was the best salad, and we split it, and we had leftovers the next day. But we walked in, and there was a bar side, and then there was a regular seats side. So we walked into the bar area, and I was like, yeah, this is totally, this is where we're supposed to be, right here, just like at these bar stools and with like a big pizza. And I walked in there and I was like, no, it's kind of loud. Like, was the other side any quieter? So we stepped over to the other side. We were like, yep, this is definitely the side for us. They were like family sitting around a big table, and it was pretty quiet. It was less crowded. We were like, yeah, let's sit over here.
Yeah.
So didn't even get a pizza. We got a salad, but I do not regret it. They had homemade ranch, salad. And it was so good.
It was a good salad.
But yes, bartender, yeah. I feel like was something that I too wish that I had previous experience with, just because I feel like it's something that a lot of people did in like their younger years, especially working around a college for so long. Mm-hmm. And didn't you say that you also really wanted to be a bagger?
Yeah, no, that's my retirement goal, is to just be a bagger at a grocery store, because they're just so friendly, and they just bag up your groceries. And how nice to like leave a store, which is normally pretty stressful, to just have like a friendly face being like, you have a great day, right? Or like, we're so glad you were here. Have a wonderful day. I love it. So that's my retirement job. I just want to be an older lady bagging groceries for people, telling them to have a great day.
Can I be the greeter person, like at the end where they're like checking receipts and like saying hello,
Yeah.
welcome to Walmart, that type of thing?
I always wanted, my actual retirement job when I was younger was the person who gave out stickers to kids, you know, at Walmart. Like there was a guy with a smiley sticker, and he would give out, or she, but ours was always a guy. He had little smiley stickers, and he would give you a sticker when you go into Walmart. That's what I wanted to be, but then they stopped doing that. There's no stickers at Walmart now. That was a long time ago when Walmart didn't sell food or alcohol, and you just went there. It was like Kmart.
Before they had super centers.
Yes. My first super center I ever experienced was in Florida. Then they were like, there's one coming to Dover. So, hello everybody who's joined. We want to know what your first job was, what you spent your money on, favorite jobs. What was your favorite job?
Mine?
Yeah,
The one that I'm in.
that's fair. You do really like that
Hands
job.
down, but I mean, I went to school to be a vet tech, so me, even just being in the field, I think is right up my alley. So I worked in general practice, just a regular vet clinic for several years, and then I went to an emergency hospital, and I worked overnights for a year in the emergency department. And then I moved over to the oncology department where I just do chemo all day, every day. So definitely much happier there. I've been there for 2 years, and I could see myself being there for a lot longer.
You're just saying that because your colleague was on here?
No.
She's not here anymore. Yeah, you do really, really love your job. I feel like that for anybody who is watching, I looked into this. This is something I'd really like to talk about some other day because we're going to have to hop off here soon. But one of the things that I think is really important. So what I was saying was that we know empirically that you are less likely to have financial stress when you enjoy your job. So even if two people, that's what I was saying, if you have two people who make the same exact amount of money, you have the same two people who make the same exact amount of money doing the same exact job. If the one person is not as happy at their job, they are more likely to have financial stress. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they they're living above their means, or they're struggling necessarily with actually having enough money, but they are more likely to feel like they are underappreciated, underpaid, overworked. So for Nikki, in her case, because she enjoys her job so much, unless you're somebody who pays her watching this and then she needs money, the idea would be that even if she made less money, she would still have a happy financial outlook. Of course, that can't be said kind of just straight across, because you're going to run into issues where people physically and financially, mentally cannot pay their bills, right? And so that's going to be a little bit different. But happiness and joy that goes along with the amount of money that you are making can absolutely change psychologically depending on how much you like your job. Thank you so much for joining us on our Financial Friday. We have a special message from two super special people. Remember
to find out London.
Yep. Every small step counts.
Every small step counts.
That's right.
Thanks for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. Small steps. I know.